All right, second to last, goodness of God. Okay, original is in A flat. We do it in E flat. I guess I'll go to E flat. Why not? Yeah, so if you haven't heard this song before, uh, it's very obviously well known. It's very it's 4/4 slower song, so definitely be at the end of your worship set. But when it comes to Bethel, obviously they're very great writers, very good worshipers, and yeah, this is a good, straightforward worship song. Uh, you know, Sometimes stylistically it might not fit your church, or it might not be as energetic as you'd like. But if you're wanting to do a Bethel song and you're wanting to do something to introduce Bethel to your church, this would be a great song to do. Or if you've got a specific song that your pastor wants to theme around the goodness of God, this is a great song to do that with. One thing that's funny though, when they start the song, it kind of reminds me of "Good Grace" by Hillsong. People come together, friends and neighbors, found as one. Uh, so that's what's funny too, is sometimes different songs trigger other songs to me. Like I just talked about the last couple of tunes ago, Coldplay with Sky Full of Stars. But yeah, so other than these few parentheses chords that I have here, which uh, this implies to me at least that you're not going to do this every time, but occasionally they add in these certain chords. So it's a trick that you could do. Like this one doesn't have a parentheses, so I assume that means I'm always going to play it there, but occasionally I'm not going to play it like over here. And all this is just a little walk up to the next chord. So is it the end of the world if you don't play it? Not really. But vocally, one thing that Jen Johnson does for the Bethel sound is she's got this tonality that she does, and there's a lot of artists out there that they have a unique sound, right? When they sing, it's usually more like the indie kind of music. They have just a very unique tone and whatever it might be. Well, Jen, she has this different, like, it reminds me of the guys that Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake kind of mimic, and they're not making fun of them, but they're mimicking them, where they've got this metal sound like this when you're talking. And so, all my life you have been faithful. Like they do this little throat kind of sing. And that's something that you want to clarify to your team. If you're the worship leader, or if you're in a vocal, the vocal BGV group, that's just something you want to clarify. It's like if you're singing, speaking of Justin Timberlake, if you're singing in sync, right? And if you're going to say it's going to be May, even though it's technically is written, it's going to be me, you have to kind of communicate those things. Otherwise, it could be confusing. Because later in the song, too, she doesn't always do that. It's more so when she's trying to be intimate and she's trying to be more passionate, or it's just the volume's not as loud, so she doesn't belt it. But yeah, this is one thing I would definitely communicate to the team, just because, hey, you guys all want to sound the same because that's what makes the vocals sound good. But yeah, other than these little walk-up chords, I know looks like there's a lot of changes, but for the most part, it can be played pretty simply. And yeah, nothing crazy. But once again, if you're looking for a Bethel song to introduce your church, or once again, if it also has a theme and a message of talking about the goodness of God, this is a great tune to do.